today's Toolbox.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Tulsa Scene Podcast. I'm Kyle. I'm your host for today, and just super excited to share with you a few barriers of growth. You see, our growth is when we are consistently taking the right action in the right direction for the right amount of time. But in a world where we can hustle and grind and grow and scale and do all of these things, it's easy to get to a place where we are feeling stuck. We feel like we've hit a lid, as John Maxwell would say. We feel like we're moving a lot, but not moving in any specific direction. So I want to give you 4 really quick, really key indicators of growth that could be a barrier. So the first thing is you couldn't tell anyone the last time that you dreamt or that you had a new idea. You see, oftentimes when we are in health, we are easily able to, man, this would be really cool, or this is happening that I want to share with somebody. And if you're in a place where growth is preventing us from taking those steps, we find ourselves going, yeah, I just kind of do what I do every day. And I don't believe that that's how we should live. I don't believe that that is what we should be just existing in life. I think when we are in health and that we overcome this barrier, you'll have witty inventions, you'll have ideas, you'll have things that spark your interest. But when you are having a barrier to growth, this is suppressed and you don't know where to turn, or really nothing motivates or inspires you. You know, the second thing that I would say is you find yourself more envious than excited over other people's growth. You feel envious rather than excited over other people's growth. You know, if we can't see somebody winning and be celebrating and excited for them, then that is a growth barrier, because we aren't able to have the excitement for others. Odds are when we get success and when we have something good happen in our life, you're probably not celebrating yourself. You're probably not excited about that. It's just like, meh. So make sure that you don't fall into this growth barrier where you find yourself envious over other people's success. Rather, be excited for what they are doing, what they're accomplishing, and how you can support and celebrate them, because all we want, better yet, I love this quote. It says, when high tide raises all boats. And so when we are all working together, we're all having success, we are able to be excited, not envious. Another thing is, I like to call this, if you have ever seen the movie Napoleon Dynamite, there's this scene where Uncle Rico is talking about how he used to be able to throw the football so many yards and all this stuff, but he's living in the past. That is a growth barrier, is when we find ourselves thinking about the success and the wins that we've had in the past, we forget what is happening in the present. And we also forget what could happen in the future. And so don't fall into the growth barrier of the Uncle Rico syndrome, where you find yourself talking about, bragging about, being boastful, or whatever the case may be about the things you did. Rather, get excited about what you're doing and what you will do. That will help you overcome the growth barrier there. And finally, you find yourself acting in a way that's outside your natural personality preference. Now, it doesn't mean that, if you're introverted in preference, that you act introverted. That's not outside of, but if you find yourself projecting or withdrawing, and it's not what you naturally do, that is an indicator that maybe something is preventing, there's a barrier to growth that you need to work through. And so being able to have people in your life that go, hey, are you okay? Like really, are you okay? It's an important thing to recognize in ourselves, but also have those people in our lives that can call that out of us and say, hey, something seems off. You're not acting like yourself. And so again, if you are experiencing any of these growth barriers, the first thing is to be aware and acknowledge that we have these barriers. It is important for us to have the people around us to keep us accountable, to encourage us, and to celebrate as we overcome these barriers. Thanks so much for listening to today's episode of the Tulsa Scene Podcast. If it was helpful and you want to share it with others, we would be so grateful for you to do that. So make sure you pop over to wherever you are listening or watching. Share with somebody if it resonates. Leave us a review. It helps others get this into their ears and into their eyes. And so we thank you so much for that. And until next time, we'll see you. Have a great day. Peace.